What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about 5 teams that I think have a shot at being the Warriors next season. The Warriors, 73-9. Add one of the greatest scorers of all time to their roster. To preference this video, I don't think that any team is better than the Warriors, but there's a lot of teams that maybe might have the slimmest of chances against them next season. I mean, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and a solid bench. Not many teams in history could have been that team, if not any. What's crazy is they were incredibly dominant last year, going 16-1 in the playoffs, and they might have actually gotten better. That's terrifying for any other team in the league. Their newest additions would be Omri Caspi and Nick Young, some solid shooters off the bench. They've also improved just by the fact that another year together will just add to their already pretty good chemistry. And also apparently JaVale McGee can shoot the 3, and that'll just add even more spacing to a team where almost everyone could already shoot. So that's enough talking about the Warriors. Let's get on to the teams that I think have a shot of beating the Warriors next season. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the team I believe has the best shot of beating the Warriors next season. The biggest thing that happened for the Cavs this offseason would have definitely been the Kyrie Irving trade. Kyrie for Ante Zizic, the Brooklyn Nets first round pick, Isaiah Thomas, and Jay Crowder. Just starting off with that Brooklyn Nets pick, that pick has the potential to be a top 3 pick, which has a lot of value if the Cavs keep it, believing that LeBron will leave, or they could trade that for a huge piece, such as a Marcus Gasol, a DeMarcus Cousins if things go right. But just as the roster is now, that trade added a lot of depth, with Jay Crowder being a great player to put behind LeBron as well as beside LeBron. Isaiah Thomas is obviously not as good as Kyrie Irving, and no one's saying that, but the gap isn't that far. Ante Zizic, he's young. I don't really know what he's going to be able to add to a championship roster. Not much, probably due to the lack of minutes he'll be receiving. But I personally believe that the Cavs have improved with signings of Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose, a former MVP and a former player with LeBron who won multiple championships with him, some with championship DNA as LeBron put it. He'll add a lot of championship experience to this team, as well as someone who knows exactly how LeBron likes to play. These two players were signed for steal contracts, 2 veteran minimums for 2 solid players who could probably start on a majority of teams in the league. 2 of the least paid players in the entire league, former MVPs on the Cavs. The biggest issue people have with this team beating the Warriors is definitely the defense. The Cavs really got exposed on defense last season, and the only real solid defensive signing they got was Jay Crowder, who will just be a body to throw on Kevin Durant, but 6'11", can shoot the ball from anywhere. There's not a lot of people who can guard him in the league. Your best bet is to hope that LeBron can somehow guard him and just pray that he can, and just throw as many bodies as possible on Kevin Durant, just so LeBron doesn't get tired and can put 100% effort on offense. I don't believe this team is better than the Golden State Warriors, but it's definitely improved in my opinion. And with that Brooklyn Nets pick, this team could improve even further to a team that, if acquired, a DeMarcus Cousins, would most likely be better than the Golden State Warriors next season. The Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that did some amazing trades last season. This team turned pieces like Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis, Doug McDermott, and Enes Kanter in a Melo and Paul George. That's ridiculous. That's some of the best trades ever. This team has a perfect storyline to beat the Warriors. The talent is definitely not as good as the Warriors. I'm not even sure if this team could beat the 2016 Thunder, let alone the 2017 Warriors. The reason I say 2016 Thunder is because that was Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, opposed to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and an improved system. But this team definitely has a shot, just with the emotion of Russell Westbrook trying to get that revenge that he's been searching for. I expect Russell Westbrook to give 110% if they ever play the Warriors in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook is going to give it everything he's got no matter what. He'll be putting in all the work, doing everything just to will his team to win. He'll finally have somebody to kick the ball out to, because last season the shooting was definitely not there. Melo and PG will be there, so even when Russell Westbrook sits, unlike last season, their team won't just completely fall off. Melo and PG, I'm really not sure how that team's going to fit. People weren't even sure how that team was going to fit with just Paul George. Now with Melo, a player who loves to ISO, there's no way he's getting a ton of ISOs playing with Russell Westbrook beside him. But this team definitely has a shot if everything goes right, and the storyline is definitely there for it. The biggest issue is probably their depth, since they don't have any. They traded their best bench player in Enes Kanter, so now their bench is either basically just going to be Andre Roberson, Raymond Felton, Alex Abrines, or instead of Andre Roberson, it might be Patrick Patterson leading the bench unit. Both ways, that bench is very unimpressive. The San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs didn't really improve much. Their only notable addition being Rudy Gay, a solid player. He's never been an all-star, but he's always been a fringe all-star throughout his career. The biggest reason they're on this list is because of what if. What if Kawhi didn't get injured last year? Some people honestly believe that the Warriors would have lost to a healthy Kawhi Leonard-led Spurs. The Spurs also were looking for Dwayne Wade, but Dwayne Wade was not looking to join the Spurs. That would have been a good addition for them, but it just didn't work out that way. But the Spurs really have gotten worse from last year. Unless Kawhi Leonard takes another big step, which is entirely possible. He's been improving and improving every season throughout his career, rapidly. But everyone's just a year older. That's what it feels like, at least. Hopefully Rudy Gay will fit perfectly with the Spurs and just be able to provide a good scoring burst every time they need it. Who knows? Pop is the best coach. If anyone's going to be able to integrate Rudy Gay into their system, it's definitely going to be Coach Pop. I really want to see a healthy Spurs vs. Warriors series. That would be amazing. Their biggest weakness is probably just age. Not being able to keep up with a young, fast Warriors team who are all in their prime. Tony Parker can't guard Steph Curry. Danny Green is a good matchup for Clay. Kawhi is a good matchup for Kevin Durant. But who in the world is guarding Steph Curry is really the biggest question. Steph Curry would feast on this roster. I'm talking like 40-30 points a game on that roster, but that's just a prediction. Who knows? Maybe Tony Parker will somehow play like how he once did and be able to guard Steph Curry, but I don't see that happening. The Houston Rockets. Houston added Chris Paul in a trade this summer. A sign-and trade involving players such as Patrick Beverley, Montrezl Harrell, and Lou Williams. The Rockets definitely lost some of their bench depth. I'm not quite sure how this trade will work due to the fact that James Harden and Chris Paul are both ball-dominant players, but this should be able to figure out. This roster was really hoping to add Melo, and it's kind of disappointing to see that they didn't add Melo as the fact that they'd been trying to add Melo for the entire summer. Rumor after rumor about Carmelo to the Rockets. I saw so many Carmelo Anthony and Rocket uniforms, I almost started to believe that it actually happened already. But sadly for Chris Paul, he didn't get his best friend. And sadly for the Rockets, they probably won't make it to the Western Conference Finals. But this roster has a chance just due to the fact of how much firepower they have. If they can all catch fire for 4 games, the chances of that happening are very low, But if they can do that and just shoot the Warriors out of the gym, they got a chance to beat them in a series. The Boston Celtics. I'm really just adding them to this list as a formality. I don't even see the Celtics having a chance of playing them in the playoffs due to the fact that I believe they got no shot against the Cavs, let alone the Warriors. But they were pretty notable adding Kyrie Irving last summer. They're pretty notable for adding Kyrie Irving this summer in that blockbuster trade that I talked about earlier. They also drafted Jason Tatum, who seems like he's going to be a solid player in this league, as well as Gordon Hayward, who is also a key asset that they added this summer. Jaylen Brown will also be coming into his second year, so hopefully he'll improve. Some people are saying that he's going to make a ginormous jump. I really don't see that. Like, some people genuinely believe he's going to be an all-star next season. I haven't seen any hints that that's going to happen. I'm not sure if Jaylen Brown will ever be an all-star, but he does seem like he'll be a solid player. I would like to believe he'll be an all-star just from the potential I've seen, but in general, that roster is definitely not even close to as good as the Cavs. So those key additions made them quite notable. The Boston Celtics have also beaten the Warriors a lot in regular seasons past, but as we all know, the regular season doesn't mean much to anything. The biggest threat to the Warriors might just be the Warriors. Arrogance, or just believing that they're so much better than everyone might just be their undoing. Apparently Draymond has done nothing but party all summer, and that's really not going to help them next season. Obviously the roster's still just so much better than everyone else's, but I don't believe it's going to be a cakewalk just like it was last year. Almost every team has improved, including them, of course. So this is going to be an interesting playoffs. Of course, I project the Warriors to have improved next year, but if they don't work hard and if they believe no one has any chance of beating them, then someone might just beat them. You gotta stay hungry, and almost every other team just feels like they're gonna be a lot hungrier than them next season. The Warriors, you don't want to stay content in this league. And if the Warriors get content with where they are, then anyone has a chance of beating them, especially the teams I mentioned earlier. So that's it for this video, guys. Please leave a thumbs up, comment something down below, some feedback about the video, anybody that I missed, any other teams that you think have a chance against the Warriors. But besides that, subscribe and see you guys next time.